Gold Squad TV, man. Kendrick Perkins, man. I just did a video on you, maybe I think on Saturday. Before I even knew about this tweet, my my man's put me onto the tweet, but I didn't really read into it until ESPN did a segment on it when Kendrick Perkins his was on ESPN earlier, and shouts to Malik Andrews, by the way. And you were bigging up JB, but sliding Tatum to put Tatum down. Now I'm not gonna act like I need to defend Tatum. Tatum can defend himself. He defended himself in that tweet. But Perk, you were trash as a player, man. You averaged like 2 points a game. You were a decent role player in a system that Doc Rivers had. You playing center and that championship team. The only reason we didn't even trade you in '07 instead, and we traded Al Jefferson instead for Kevin Garnett and all those other pieces, is because Kevin Garnett liked you. That's it. Otherwise, nobody would care about you. See, the problem is you're very aware you are a horrible basketball player, but yet you feel that you have to stick your nose in everything. This is why KD called your ass out. See, normally I'd be on your side when it comes to players being a little soft in today's generation and being a little sensitive. But in this case, you went looking for that shit. And you have a history of doing this. Kemba Walker's brother called your bum ass out after the Minnesota Timberwolves game a year ago where Tatum had 53 points. Dude, you're not only a flip flopper, you're a dick rider, bro. You act like a fucking Celtics fan. I'm a Celtics fan, but I'm trying to make this clear. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, even though I probably am. You act like you don't act like a dude that really knows basketball. You act like a fucking Celtics fanboy. There's a difference. I know ball, just like you know ball, supposedly. Difference is you played ball, you know ball, and you act like a fanboy. You flip flop. People don't respect you around the league, man. ESPN has you out there looking like a doofus. And so does NBC Boston. I liked you in the beginning. I remember when they gave you that spot when Tommy was out still with, his health issues before he passed away. I'll never forget that first game, and you were calling the game. You were bigging up Kemba, Tatum, and Brown. We beat Dallas that game. And I was like, yo, this dude seemed official. And then, yo, dude, you can't even make up your mind half the time what you're going to criticize about and what you're going to be critical about. The Celtics just won 2 straight games. And you have the nerve to put one player down and put the other one up. Now, mind you, I love JB, and I've been very critical of Tatum this year. However, he did not deserve you to go out there and put his shit on blast like that. 6 for 14 is not bad shooting. Now, 6 for 30 is bad shooting. 6 for 14 is not bad. That's just 8 shots missed. All right? That's something I would do in a court. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? It's not saying much about me, but it's not bad. You know what I mean? It's not the worst thing in the world. Most people will take a 6 for 14 shooting game in the NBA. So let's really be real, man. You need to stop it. Like, I'm not even going to cuss at you in this video because it really kind of doesn't make sense for me to do that. But you are part of the problem with the Celtics fandom. That Celtics fandom is that they want to win basketball games with role players. Mike Gorman hates Jaylen Brown. I love Mike Gorman, but I'm calling a spade a spade. This man even suggested that the Celtics should bench Brown and put Josh Richardson in the lineup. Now, I like Josh. I like Jay Rich. He ain't better than Jaylen Brown. Josh Richardson, will tell you, he ain't better than Jaylen Brown. All right? It's clowns like him Cedric Maxwell, Tommy Curran, and then Perk. They perpetuate negativity every time. They want to see Marcus Smart win the title before they see Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown coexist. I hate to break it to you, Marcus Smart's not going to lead anyone to an NBA title. Gorman said on a broadcast, I hate to see Marcus Smart in trade rumors. Well, Marcus Smart's not good enough on both ends of the floor. He's a good defender. He stinks on offense. He's had some big moments, but you can't rely on him. If you're relying on Marcus Smart to be your franchise player, good luck. Be lucky to get 4 games, like 4 or 5 wins in a season. If lucky. At that. That's no disrespect to that man. You know, he was a 6th pick in the draft that year. But great defender. He's not a guy you're going to look to have lead you to a title. And yet, people point out to Marcus Smart calling out the Jays early in the year when Marcus Smart had 0 assists in that game, mind you. 16 points, 0 assists. Talking about they need to move the ball more when that meltdown was more than just offense. It was a defensive collapse more than anything. That wasn't just an offense. The offense kind of collapsed after the defense collapsed in that Chicago game. That's more on coaching. That ball, listen, I'm all for ball movement in certain situations, but you're telling players to not to go in there and do it for self kits and saying it's hero ball. Every great player in the league goes into their do it yourself kit. Can't tell stars not to do that. This is the only franchise that I know that I've been watching forever. I remember even back when Paul Pierce was the only guy there, and they were calling him selfish, only he had nobody to pass it to. Just like the Jays have nobody to pass it to. And they were calling him selfish and wanted to run him out of town. As of like this dude didn't get stabbed 1 billion times and almost died and played 82 games in 1 year. That same year. See, Celtics fans, man, they always talk about Knicks fans being bad. And I hear the Julius Randle stuff and all that. Man, the Celtics fans are worse. I'm a Celtics fan, but I know when I draw the line where it's kind of like, okay, y'all need to chill. Without JT, without JB, we're a lottery team, bro. We're like a below lottery team. It's not even like a lot. We're a below lottery team. The only reason we even have a chance to win these games is because of both those cats. Regardless of how you think or feel the brand of basketball is being played. You don't like 2 guys scoring and defending and being the leaders of the team, then you go ahead and tell that to Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. You go ahead and tell that to Harden and KD. You go ahead and tell that to Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. You know, you go ahead and tell that to the majority of the league. The majority of the league always has 2 guys that can score. How come the problem is solvable in other teams, but in here it's not solved? And it's like the 2 stars are always blamed for not making players better when the players around them completely stink. The only guy we're probably keeping, if I had to, there's 2 guys I'm willing to keep. If I'm always been very, very vocal about this. You know what I mean? Peyton Pritchard's one of them. I guess maybe Time Lord, only because the reason why I've been always wanting to get rid of Time Lord is not because of his lack of talent, it's because he gets hurt. But other than that, I mean, if he stays healthy, I mean, no doubt you keep him. Will wish he would learn how to shoot a jumper, but, you know, other than that, the dude's an athletic freak if he stays healthy. The rest of that team, Horford's extremely old and is showing that he's looking really old right now. Smart looks like damaged goods. Can't hit a jumper consistently. You know what I mean? His offensive game, he had that one really good season in 2020, or the COVID season where he was killing it. And after I haven't seen that Smart. He even came into camp this year, didn't even look like he was in the best of shape, honestly. I don't know if that was because he was having injuries, nagging injuries he had. We just didn't take the off season seriously. You know, I'm just not shitting on Smart. You know what I mean? I'm sure he takes the game seriously, but he didn't look it coming into the season. You know, we're shitting on the 2 guys that are the only reason we're even in any way, shape, or form a winning franchise or somewhat sub-winning franchise at this point. Only Only in Boston does that happen. Hey, man, let me tell you something. The days of Cedric Maxwell being your finals MVP are long gone, bro. Some of you Celtics fans need to hang it up. You need to stop being fans. We don't really care if you were a fan in 81, 82. It's a young, listen, even when I'm your age, when I'm like in my 60s, I'm going to know what wins in this game. I'm going to know what loses in this game. Cedric Maxwell is not winning you an NBA title by himself. You know what I mean? If you think that the role players are going to win you NBA titles and it's going to be no stars, man, I hate to break it to you. We're going to be a losing franchise for a very long time. So, to me, instead of being a dick and disrespecting those guys, maybe it would be nice if you start uplifting those guys. I don't understand why criticizing them is good. See, that's the old school mentality. You know what I mean? That worked in the 90s. But we are now evolutioning into a new era. I don't agree with the soft shit, but it's just the way it is. It's just the new era. I don't even know if it's soft or it's just more, it's just society. Society's different. You know, society's supposed to change. It's supposed to evolve. You can't have it be the way it was in 1994, man. I love all that old shit, but it's just not what it is today, man. And, you know, it's just the reality. That said, Perk, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not gonna go into a cussing rant about you. Like, I think that your IQ speaks for itself. You have trouble even getting these sentences out, bro. The fact they even got you on ESPN is because they make fun of you more than anything. Richard Jefferson be mocking you. Richard Jefferson be looking at you like you're a fool. You know, like low key. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you're there just for entertainment purposes. And as for NBC Boston and all them hating ass motherfuckers over there, the only person I like watching on that damn network is Amina. Amina Smith, salute. The rest of them cats, all them bunch of negative Nancy people, all the way down to Tangway, all the way down to Bob Ryan, Jeff Goodman. All those morons are all negative. They feel like you should trade one of the Jays. There's always something with these people. They got rid of, there's reason why Rozier left. Like, he got traded technically for Kemba, but that was only because we had to do a sign and trade. He was already gone. He would have stayed had this team put the battery in his back to stay, but the media ran him out because he spoke his mind. I heard Bob Ryan calling him a jackass because he blew up after the Milwaukee series, which he had every right to do because he was upset as a competitor that he had to sacrifice all those possessions and all his game and did not get given the keys to the car when he was drafted to be that guy. And then you see what he's doing in Charlotte now. I wish he had him back, right? Played very well with the Jays. I mean, we got rid of him. You know, ran Kemba out of here. You know, I mean, yeah, he's injuries. You know, injuries are the injuries, but he's still better than what the fuck we have at point guard right now. You know, the least that dude could still give us 25, 30 on any given night. Maybe not every night, but on any given night, he still could give you 25, 30 to get the pressure off of these guys. Got rid of him. Kyrie said, fuck this, I'm out, because guys want to run me out of town. And if the dude was in a hallway before the Houston Rockets game saying, I hate this place, and I can't even get mad at him for it because the fans want to run everyone out. And I'm not speaking to the fans who go to the Boston Celtics games. I'm talking about the internet Celtics fans. I just want to make that clear. Nice distinction. That said, like, you guys run everybody out. Even Gordon Hayward's wife. And I'm not the biggest Gordon Hayward guy. I've made videos going at Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward's wife went at you fans. You guys ran them out of town. Gordon was a decent player. I wasn't the biggest Gordon Hayward fan. I thought he got a little too much credit when we won. But, he probably would have stayed, or he probably would have stayed to become a trade piece and we got somebody better had we actually treated him with some type of respect instead of just booing and shitting on him every time he got hurt. I'm just saying. And that goes to me too, man. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the biggest Gordon Hayward guy. I said some foul shit about him. But some of the stuff y'all went at him, like the stuff I said was really more just on court shit. Some of the stuff y'all went to made his wife go crazy. Like, fuck y'all, we ain't coming back. Players don't want to play in Boston, and it's like you guys, fans, Kendrick Perkins, all these dumb analysts need to take a look in the mirror, man. The more and more you continue to do this, the more fans aren't going to want to come. I mean, basketball players aren't going to want to come here. If you think some superstar is going to want to come play in Boston, and then he hears that the two other stars on the team are getting shitted on tremendously every day for no reason, when it's just pieces missing on the team, obviously, you're not going to want to come here. If KD's a free agent, he'd be like, yo, I'm out. Now, I love the fans, but I hate this damn fucking media. The media out here stinks. It's just negative Nancy shit all the time. See, I'm not afraid to call that shit out. I know I'm going to get a lot of Celtics fans probably hearing this video, or they even view it. I have people on my page, on my channel, that have hit me up and called me a crybaby and shit, and want to always say that the Jays are selfish and shit. And I'm like, nah, son. You just an old, ratchet, old Celtics fan who think Bird is going to come out their arena with Parrish and McHale, and he's going to win you titles. Havlicek, God rest his soul, we ain't here no more, man. You guys need to get over it. You guys need to... The Celtics organization needs to have an evolution. You can't keep going to the past and thinking that, that's just the way Celtics basketball needs to be played. What championship have you won playing that way since 2008? I'll leave it at that. Since you want to sit there and be like, oh, we need to play team ball. The Jays need to make everybody better. What a joke. You guys just need to stop and just understand that the NBA is the NBA. If you don't, you need to get with the program. These teams are passing us by. Memphis is out here balling right now. They're in their other conference, but they balling. They're going to be a threat for years to come. You know what I mean? Teams are passing us by because we don't want to get away from that old philosophy. We can't continue to rely on tradition, man. My man Keem, he said the same thing. All we do is rely on tradition. We keep relying on tradition. Half these players weren't even alive, if not the majority of them weren't even alive when the Celtics won their championship in '86. Stop putting these expectations on, on these players. You got to base the expectations based on recent work. And recently, we ain't been the dynasty that we were back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. It would be no different if you're a Laker fan and you haven't won a title in like fucking 10, 15 years. How are you going to hold the Laker mystique against players when the Lakers haven't won shit? Now they, good thing they won their little bullshit title in the bubble, but let's be honest, if they didn't win that, how are you going to hold the Laker legacy against players who weren't even around when Shaq and Kobe were winning titles? Come on, man. Let's be realistic here. Let's be realistic. It would be no different. That's like that's like Sixers fans holding a standard against the Sixers for what Dr. J and Moses Malone did back in '83. Man, come on, stop it. Gold Squad TV. Leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.